In the dim glow of flickering streetlights behind a rundown gas station on the outskirts of a gritty industrial town, a lone female cop named Officer Elena Ramirez patrolled her beat, her boots crunching against the gravel strewn with discarded cigarette butts and crumpled beer cans, the air thick with the stench of stale gasoline and rotting trash from overflowing dumpsters, her hand resting instinctively on the holster of her Glock 22, senses heightened by years of navigating the treacherous underbelly of urban decay where thugs and lowlifes lurked in every shadow, waiting for the perfect moment to strike at authority figures like her, a symbol of the law they despised with venomous hatred. Elena's mind racing through the routine checklist of her night shift, radio crackling sporadically with distant calls about domestic disputes and petty thefts, unaware that tonight would etch itself into legend among the biker gangs and law enforcement alike, as a group of English thugs, hardened by prison tattoos and a code of street justice imported from the fog-shrouded alleys of London, had been tailing her cruiser for blocks, their motorcycles idling silently in the darkness, engines cooled to avoid detection, leaders barking hushed orders in thick Cockney accents laced with malice, plotting to ambush this pig, who had dared to pull over one of their associates earlier for a busted taillight that escalated into a heated confrontation, now seeking brutal revenge to send a message to the entire police force, the gas station's neon sign buzzing erratically, casting red and blue hues that danced like ominous warnings across the cracked pavement. Elena rounding the corner to inspect a suspicious van parked haphazardly near the air pumps, its windows tinted black as midnight, inside which the thugs crouched low, knuckles white around brass knuckles and switchblades, hearts pounding with adrenaline-fueled rage. The lead thug, a burly man named Mick with a scarred face from countless bar brawls, whispering to his crew of 5 that this was their chance to humiliate the cop, strip her of dignity before the real pain began. As Elena approached, flashlight beam cutting through the night, illuminating graffiti-scrawled walls depicting anarchist symbols and gang tags. Suddenly the van door slid open with a metallic screech, and the thugs exploded out like feral wolves, surrounding her in a tight circle, their laughter echoing cruelly, one grabbing her arm, twisting it behind her back while another yanked her radio away, smashing it against the ground, sparks flying, Elena fighting back with trained precision, kneeing one in the groin, eliciting a howl of pain, but outnumbered and caught off guard, a fist connected with her jaw, splitting her lip, blood trickling warm and metallic down her chin, the attack unfolding in brutal slow motion, boots kicking at her ribs as she fell to her knees, the thugs jeering in their distinctive English slang, calling her names that burned worse than the physical blows, promising to leave her broken and begging, the gas station attendant inside too terrified to intervene, peeking through blinds but dialing no one. The night alive with the sounds of violence, grunts and thuds mingling with Elena's defiant shouts for backup that would never come in time. Little did they know that across the street, hidden in the shadows of a derelict warehouse, members of the infamous Hells Angels Motorcycle Club had been conducting their own business, a routine drop-off of contraband parts for customized Harleys, their leather vests adorned with the death head emblem glinting under moonlight. The chapter president, a grizzled veteran named Jax with a beard streaked gray from decades on the road, pausing mid-conversation as the commotion reached their ears, his eyes narrowing at the sight of the uneven fight. The Angels, a band of outlaws with their own strict code, respecting warriors regardless of badge, especially a woman standing her ground against cowards who attacked from behind. Jax signaling to his brothers with a subtle nod, engines roaring to life in unison, the ground trembling as a dozen chrome beasts thundered toward the gas station, headlights piercing the darkness like avenging angels, the thugs frozen in their assault, mid-kick, as the bikers encircled them, forming an impenetrable wall of muscle and menace. Jax dismounting with deliberate slowness, his boots hitting the pavement with authority, staring down Mick who still held Elena by the hair, the air electric with tension. The Hells Angels, known for their unforgiving justice, having clashed with law enforcement countless times yet drawing the line at dishonorable ambushes, especially on a fellow fighter. Elena gasping for breath, bruises forming on her pale skin, watching in stunned silence as the unthinkable began to unfold. The bikers not there to arrest or report but to deliver a lesson in respect the hard way. One angel cracking his knuckles, another drawing a chain from his belt, the thugs realizing too late they had poked the wrong hornet's nest, pleas for mercy falling on deaf ears, the night about to explode into a symphony of retribution that would bond unlikely allies in blood and legend. Note: This paragraph has approximately 3,000 characters including spaces, exact count may vary slightly by tool. As the Hells Angels descended upon the scene like a storm of leather and steel, the English thugs' bravado crumbled faster than a house of cards in a hurricane, Mick releasing his grip on Alina's hair with a shove that sent her sprawling onto the oil-stained concrete, her uniform torn at the shoulder, revealing a Kevlar vest that had saved her from worse injuries, but the pain radiating from her ribs suggested at least one crack, her training kicking in as she scrambled back, hand reaching for her sidearm only to find it kicked away by a fleeing thug, the Angels forming a human barricade between her and her attackers, Jax's voice booming like thunder over the idling engines, demanding to know what the hell these limey bastards thought they were doing jumping a cop in his territory, the word, his, carrying the weight of unchallenged dominion in this part of town where the Hells Angels ruled the shadows with iron fists wrapped in chrome, the thugs backing up against the gas pumps, eyes darting